We're continuing our journey through the 3i Atlas attunement arc. Remember, this is that path designed to tune your own system to a living galactic signal. So we've moved past that initial, reception phase. Now we're heading right into the fire, so to speak. Today we're looking at section 2, Climax and Purification. This is really where the comet's most intense solar activity starts teaching us lessons deep inside the body. Okay, let's unpack this. So, quick recap first. Previously in section 1, galactic reception, we aligned to origin, touched deep time, and crossed our first threshold.
Right, and that alignment is sort of like lighting a fuse. Once you're oriented correctly, your system's actually ready to handle some really intense energy. Section 2 is kind of the natural next step from that readiness, climax, and purification. It's mostly a phase of deep internal release. Its whole function is to line up your inner world with these really sharp transition points in the comet's journey. Specifically, those moments where it's under maximum pressure, like perihelion, its closest point to the sun.
Okay, so we're not trying to shield ourselves from the heat, we're actually using it. Mirroring that peak pressure inside us.
Exactly, we're using it. The main metaphor here comes straight from observing the 3i Atlas itself. Physically outgassing Kaioro and vapor when it gets hit by all that solar energy. It's literally shedding layers.
Wow.
So the goal for you, the learner, is to encourage that same kind of energetic purging, shedding the old material, those limiting beliefs, letting that purifying sunlight do its work. The climax isn't just about intensity. It's the very moment the system transforms because it lets something go.
Okay, that leads us right into jump 4 then. This one sets up that rhythm of release, you said. It's called the Solar Purge. And the type of jump here is environmental space.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is what that actually means in practice. An environmental space jump means you step into this really potent energetic field. It's dedicated. You're not like doing a specific set of actions. You're just there, listening to the environment itself, soaking up the transformational frequency it carries. The space itself trains you just by being in it.
So it's less like an active meditation technique and more like absorbing a state, a high frequency state.
It's definitely active in the absorbing, yeah, but passive in terms of physical movement. We place you right inside the energetic feeling of the comet when it's most active, right at perihelion.
Okay.
And the core instruction for the jump is all about synchronizing your breath with the rhythm of the comet's outgassing. We use that image, that analogy of co-Eurogassing, to help move that old material out of your system, pushed out by that purifying solar heat. It's a release, but it's controlled, pressurized.
That does sound intense. The environment is literally the comet under maximum solar pressure. How do you stop your own system from just, freaking out or shutting down?
Well, that's actually the key lesson here. One of the main practical benefits is exactly that. You get practiced in clearing out that heat-generated pressure without collapsing. It teaches your system how to handle that high energy, that voltage, while still managing the release.
Okay, so building resilience.
Right, and this whole process kicks off what we call rhythmic somatic shedding. It's not some chaotic explosion. It's more like the body naturally, rhythmically letting go of whatever can't really travel with you under these new conditions, this new light.
I think what really stood out to me from the source material was that phrase. That purification becomes rhythmic and kind when you honor the heat and the timing. It's like learning to trust the rhythm of the furnace itself. That's beautiful.
It really is. You start to internalize that, releasing old emotional patterns, limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a struggle. It's more like physics. Physics happening in warm light. The timing of the heat dictates the rhythm of the purge. You just align with it.
Okay. So once that intense shedding happens, the system must need to, recalibrate, restabilize pretty quickly.
Immediately, yeah. That brings us straight to jump 5, the sun gate silence.
A very different name.
And a very different feel. This shift is crucial. We go right from that pressurized environmental space of activity into an archetypal jump, which is a completely different way of transforming.
Right, archetypal jump. That connects you with these primal forces, doesn't it? Universal patterns. So instead of an environment, you're entering more of a timeless blueprint, like the basic scaffolding of consciousness itself, something beyond culture or species.
Exactly. You're tapping into a root pattern. And when you access an archetypal field like this, you're essentially waking that pattern up inside yourself. It becomes a living current within you. And it can actually reshape how you see things, how you create things. You embody a universal principle.
So, applying that to the comet, where does this silence actually happen in its journey?
The sun gate silence embodies the deep rest, the integration that happens when the comet is hidden, basically, when it passes behind the sun, from our perspective. occulted by the sun.
Ah, okay, hidden from view.
Right. And the goal here is to tap into that profound inner stillness. It's about processing all that light, that illumination, through what the Source calls the solar logos archetype. It's like an intentional pause that teaches your system how to integrate all the intense light it just received at perihelion, but without burning out.
That seems absolutely critical. If jump 4 was about learning to release under pressure, then jump 5 sounds like the strategy for, well, surviving and integrating after the release. What kind of stabilizing effects does this silence bring?
Well, first off, it really grounds you in that archetypal pattern of inner integration. It's like returning to a baseline, a 0 point.
Okay.
And that stillness stabilizes the self. It helps you process all that intense solar energy we just talked about. It kind of acts like an energetic cooling system, stopping the whole system from overheating after taking in so much.
It sounds like it helps you internalize the difference between, say, intellectually knowing something and actually metabolizing it, making it part of you.
That's a great way to put it, yes. It installs this quiet capacity to really absorb and digest that light before you rush out and act on it. That pause isn't just about rest. It becomes generative, productive in a quiet way.
And the final outcome listed, it seems like it completely redirects that intense energy. You embody a quiet strength that can absorb intensity without just reflecting it back.
Yes. It takes all that intensity you absorbed and teaches you how to turn it back out into the world as calm, clear direction. Instead of just reacting or feeling overwhelmed by all the new information, you respond from a place of centered strength.
Wow. It's quite a pair then. An explosive, pressurized release, followed immediately by this deep, stabilizing stillness. Really complementary.
Absolutely. So what does this all mean when we look at them together? If we connect this to the bigger picture, well, these two jumps together teach the perfect solar cadence. It's like the essential rhythm of consciousness when dealing with intense energy. They show you how to let go of the excess when the heat is highest, right? And then immediately how to stabilize the light that comes from that release through deliberate silence. It's really the definition of a necessary cycle. Receiving and then holding, purging, then integrating.
So we've covered the first two big steps in section 2. Moving from that intense environmental space, the rhythmic purge, into the profound stillness of the archetypal field for integration. And this knowledge, it isn't just abstract theory. The idea is that it directly impacts your daily rhythm, right? Mastering this cadence is meant to give you new ways to find clarity, to use that necessary pause, and to handle life's intense energy without getting totally drained or reactive.
Exactly. Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over. If purification is basically physics just shedding what can't handle the warm light, then what kind of profound stillness do you need to cultivate? What's needed to make sure that powerful light leads to clarity instead of just burnout? Think about it. What essential generative pause might you be skipping in your own life? The kind of pause that the Sungate silence is waiting to teach you how to truly embody. That's the core insight here, the knowledge that keeps working long after the jump itself is over.